Love and light. With all the things going on, I started thinking about disability and them going after Medicaid and all the families that this is going to impact. I was a caregiver to my sister-in-law, and I took care of her for a little over 10 years before we had no choice and the insurance and doctor said she had to go into an assisted living. I didn't like the one they put her in, so I had to do all the research and find one that I liked that she ended up being able to enjoy for her final years. Now those people aren't even going to be able to enjoy their final years because many of them, they're going to get kicked out. And not all of them have family. And our politicians aren't thinking about them. And that's the problem. Many people really don't think about the disabled unless they're looking for a parking space. So I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant, and if you don't want to hear it, I apologize and just quit watching. Fair warning. I had to write it down because it was a little bit of a thought process I was going through. We have people in charge of our lives that have never walked our paths, with the exception of Hot Wheels. He, it appears, was happy to be a success story, yet wants to make sure that he is the last success story. People who climb that ladder and then pull it up. Disability isn't a black or white situation. There are many forms that are devastating. Some problems aren't visible. The disabled, they need a support system. Some are bedridden. Those are the ones that need the support and help the most. Most aren't, yet they still need that support system. They need family and friends that are willing to pull them out of the dark, a purpose, to be needed. They may not want the help at first. However, with love and patience, they find purpose. I speak from experience. I'm disabled. I had family and friends that refused to give up on me, even when I wanted them to. I had friends that came over knowing I just wanted to stay in bed. I just wanted to get up, get my last child ready for school, make sure he got to school and back. And I was giving up on life. I felt like there was no purpose for me anymore. I wasn't bringing home money. I wasn't able to dance. I felt like I really was a burden to my family. But I had family and friends that refused to let me stay in that. Even when I tried to push some away, they would not go away. And I thank them for that. All right, off of me. I'll just say that some falls aren't recoverable. Unless you have money, lots of money, the best insurance, and you do not get hurt at work, because workman's comp is not there to help you. They're there to help the company. And if that means not helping you and then throwing you on disability where you can't get the help you need, they'll do it, because what's best for the company is what workman's comp is all about. So, back on to my rant. Being disabled means adjusting your expectations on what you can do. You adjust, and there are times that you feel like you're normal, like you can do a few things that you used to do. You may think you feel good enough. Hey, I feel good enough. I can pick this up, move it over here. And in the process, you realize, yeah, maybe that wasn't the smartest thing to do. Should I continue and finish what I'm doing? Or can I not continue and I'm going to fall? And if you do manage to push yourself and continue to carry that over there or push that over there or do a little bit of a dance, no one sees the 2 or 3 or more days that you're in bed beating yourself up because you knew better, but you thought you really could do it. They don't see that. And if someone sees you doing something that you thought you could do, you could lose your insurance, you could lose your benefits and hurt yourself and your family for those moments of, okay, stupidity, thinking you could do something you couldn't do. But they don't know the full story. Sometimes you're in bed recovering for that mistake you made, You can't recover losing everything because of that mistake you made. And yes, sure, there are people out there scamming the system, and that needs to be addressed. But those people are only able to scam the system because they have lawyers and doctors who are helping them scam the system. And that needs to be addressed right along with them. All right, back off of that part of the rant. The support system, it needs to be fixed, but not at the expense of helping those in need. It's not just the disabled person that you're hurting, it's their family. They may be the only support for their children. We are all connected. We are not a business, we are a civilization. Maybe politicians should be treated as employees, tested to know that they have the knowledge they need to do their job. Surprise drug testing, since that is what they require of everyone else. Make the same amount as the average person from their own state. That way, they are in touch with their constituents. Work 40 hours a week, since now being a politician is a full-time career, not like it was back in the old days when the Constitution was first created. Retire at 65 or 67, whatever the requirements are that they make everyone else. Live on the same health care as their constituents. They're not better than us. They should live like us so that they know how to work for us. We need to become a community, not a hierarchy. Of course, I believe in some radical things like corporations and rich people paying their own fair tax, as well as churches, because many churches, they use all that money that they don't have to pay taxes to build glorious buildings to get more money from people, to buy up land and businesses to pour in more money. And what is there left for them to buy? Politicians and governments. Just like millionaires, they can enjoy their money. They can help society or hoard it and just enjoy it themselves and their family. Or billionaires, which, what do they have to buy but politicians and governments? And many of them are incorporated in churches. That's why you might find that some politicians may not have bank accounts. They're in touch with the church. So churches should be paying taxes too. That way they are guaranteed to be helping the very people they are supposed to be serving. But hey, what do I know? I'm an average person living an average life. I'm not as smart as geniuses out there. So those are just my 2 cents. Love and light. Thanks for listening. I'll get off my soapbox now. Bye. I probably should do some cards after that long rant. I'm going to stick with the Oracle this one instead of Tarot. And I'm going to ask about how our society, the path it's on towards helping those it needs to help. Let's see. Okay, let's see what it says. All right, where we're at now. Power. Right now, the government feels like it has all the power. The politicians are flexing their muscle. But the people are now starting to find their power. The people are starting to unite. This is where we're at. It's a power struggle. Our challenges, our fulfillment, our wishes. What we want versus what they want. Back to our power struggle. How are we going to go about this? Spiritual union. Like-minded people have to step up. Our youth have to step up. They have to bring in what they believe and how they want society to be. They have to unite with those who believe the same way. And maybe there has to be some adjustments on how it should be done. Compromise has to be brought back into everyday living, but not a compromise of, should I eat today? Should I skip today to make sure other people can eat? But more of a compromise like, well, we had beans and rice yesterday, so maybe today we'll have something else. That type of a compromise, something that everybody can live with, that everyone will be happy with. But the only way that's going to be done is going back to this power struggle and people coming up into their power. And that means not just people my age and just a little younger fighting it out, but people like Hogg coming into it, into his power, his battle with the DNC. What he really needs to do is get ground troops going, getting people his age and a little older, getting them together, getting them prepared to take an office, to learn how the job should be done, and to be able to outperform the ones holding those positions now. That's the steps that need to be taken in order to bring about our fulfillment, our wishes, a better society. That's what the cards, how I feel they say. Love and light.